right here on camera.
Welcome to the Micheaux Mission, 2 men, one podcast, every black film ever made. My name is Len, aka the Bat Tribble, and as always, I'm joined by my partner.
Hey, this is Vincent Williams.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first part of our 2 weeks of Christmas.
2 weeks, you're just not going to acknowledge Trading Places, huh? You just refuse to acknowledge
because
Places.
Hidden Figures breaks that up.
Hidden Figures broke it up.
So I'm sorry.
Okay.
If Hidden Figures was can you shoehorn that into Christmas?
I don't think there's one moment in Hidden Figures that you can link to Christmas.
No. So therefore, 2 weeks of Christmas begins tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with Vincent's selection from Netflix of all places.
Yeah, although it was supposed to be released.
It was supposed to be released, yes. Jingle Jangle.
Jingle Jangle.
A Christmas Journey.
Yes.
Which stars Forrest Whitaker, Madeline Mills.
Yes.
Introducing a young Madeline Mills.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Keegan-Michael Key.
Mm-hmm.
And last but never the least, Anika Noni Rose.
Anika Noni Rose. Spoiler, I didn't think there was enough Anika Noni Rose. But we'll put a pin in that.
Yes. Yes. But so Miss Makiba says that I love Jingle Jangle.
Okay.
All right. We'll find out whether or not the Men of Micheaux love Jingle Jangle, as well as we are streaming live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. To each and every one of you out there, good evening, missionaries.
Good evening, one and all.
How you doing, Vincent?
I'm all right. I'm good.
I have a question for you.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You didn't give me a chance to ask you how you're doing.
Well, I am doing well, my friend. Thank you. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Our social media representative, young Toya Haynes.
Hey, Toya.
She sent me a pic of a gift that she's getting for somebody.
Okay.
And I don't want to show the pic because it might may give away what I don't want to show the pic. But anyway, but the pic lists like Philly hip hop. Like the tree of Philly hip hop.
Sure.
As it were, right?
Sure.
And it's along the lines of those shirts that say so and so, so and so, so and so, so.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
So
it has the tree of Philly hip hop, and there are 7 names on here.
Okay.
So I'm curious.
Yes.
Because even though you were, lived and raised in Baltimore,
born and bred,
but in your soul, you're a hip hop head.
I am.
So if you had to put the tree of Philly hip hop on a shirt, in 7 names.
Okay. My first question is, do the Roots count as one name?
The Roots count as one name.
Okay. My second question, do Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince count as one name?
Well, I was counting them as 2 names, but let's count them as one name because now I'm looking at it and it does say Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Okay, so there are 2.
So those 2 right there.
Yeah, right there.
So we're cutting down from 7. It's 6. No, so because Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince are one name.
But the Roots are one name. You said the Roots are one name too.
Yeah,
so,
but
so now I have 5 more.
No, but when I looked at this, I saw Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince under it. I didn't see the and. So I have 4 names left. Yes.
Okay. Lady B.
Okay, very good.
Lady B,
which I think is the sleeper there. I didn't think
dog, you gotta, like, if you're talking Philly hip hop, you have to acknowledge Lady B. Like, you actually have quietly. You should say Lady B before you say the Roots and Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Well, to be fair, Lady B is the first name on the tree.
Okay, yeah. And no doubt.
And while you said quietly, I will shout out loud in regards to Lady B. She is not only so instrumental as a part of Philly hip hop, she is instrumental as a part of hip hop in general.
That is actually where I was going. Yes.
Lady B should have a statue.
Yeah, 100% true. That is 100% true. So we have the Roots.
Mm-hmm.
No. So we have Lady B, Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince,
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince,
the Roots. So now we got 3 more spots.
3 more spots on our tree of Philly hip hop.
Steady B.
Doesn't make it.
Cool C.
Don't make it. It's not hard to imagine that they don't make it, maybe because what they
right. I mean, look,
I'm just saying.
they still legendary dudes though.
Okay, but
EST, is EST on there?
Not EST,
but I'm blanking. I know EST links to some, but I'm completely blanking.
3 times dope.
3 times dope is who I'm at. Right.
The group.
Right. EST is
the
right.
Nicholas one.
So right. So 3 times dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, quietly, I would have gone with 3 times dope before Cool C and Steady B because I thought I was going to forget Cool C and Steady B. But once I leave them, I think I'm done.
Really?
Yeah, I'm done. I don't have any other Philly hip hop in my head.
Okay. Well, these last 2,
educate me.
These last 2 are definitely in your head. You're just not pulling them.
Okay.
So
now there are 3 spots left because you said neither Cool C nor Steady B are on there.
Correct.
Okay, go. And for people who don't know, you sort of alluded to it.
Oh, the story of Steady B and
why
Cool C?
Why you said sort of politically Cool C and Steady B wouldn't be on there, and they would not be on there because
they were arrested and did time. I think one of them may be out by now, but they did time for robbery and I believe
murder.
Was it a murder?
Yeah, because they shot that cop.
That's right. I couldn't remember if they got murdered or manslaughter.
That police woman died.
That's right.
Yeah.
They may not actually be out.
Yeah,
I think one of them, at least one of them, I think
I thought one of them died.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that.
Yeah. So Cool C and Steady B, while they are legendary Philadelphia hip hop fixtures, murdered somebody,
which definitely taints their story.
Do record labels count?
No, it's people.
Okay, because the great Philadelphia record label, that Cool C and Steady B were on, or one of them was on that label out of Philly.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't.
But I'm all right. But go ahead. Tell me. So we got 3 slots left.
Right. So I'm gonna go in the order that it is on this gift.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily put these all in this order, but it starts with Lady B.
Okay.
3 times dope.
Okay.
Schoolie D.
I always forget Schoolie D is actually from Philly. You know how come I have a brain? Because I always know it's the alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
It's Steady B, Cool C, and Schoolie D.
Mm-hmm.
I was just listening to the Schoolie D remix with KRS-One.
Oh yeah,
because I was going through the KRS-One thing, so I always forget Schoolie D is in fact from Philadelphia. Yeah, Schoolie D. All right.
It's not hard to imagine. It's not hard to forget that he's from Philly, even though he reps hard for Philly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But because on maybe a bigger national level, if you only know him from like some of his movie work, he did the soundtrack to what was that? The King of New York with Christopher Walken.
Right.
So you would think that, they got a New York guy.
Right. And I think arguably his biggest hit is that KRS-One remix to Serious.
Yeah. I think that's definitely his biggest hit.
So
no
doubt Schoolie D.
So then you have so after Schoolie D, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince,
of course,
The Roots,
of course,
Bahamadia.
I mean, I'm not pausing because I don't agree with it. I'm just pausing. I'm actually happy they gave her flowers.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too. Now, and I don't have any problem with this.
Wait,
list.
who's the last person?
That's it. Lady B, 3 times dope.
So who? So I missed Bahamadia. I missed Schoolie D. I thought I missed the third one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you got because you got 3 times dope.
Right. So I missed 2.
Yeah.
Schoolie D and Bahamadia. Okay.
Now there's only one other name I would put on this list.
Who?
And admittedly, they don't have the hits that 3 times dope do.
Mm-hmm.
But they have one hit.
Okay.
But it is one hit that I believe that if you still put it on, certainly in a club in Philly, it would ring out and everybody would jump to the floor.
Okay.
And that's Tough Crew.
Tough Crew.
Yes. Because I still think if you put that on, you put them on, everybody is on the dance.
Right. Tough Crew. Or like the Ram Squad.
No, not the Ram Squad.
Like Ram Squad.
Not the Ram Squad. Are you throwing shade on Tough Crew?
I'm not throwing shade at all.
Then why are you following up with Ram Squad?
I thought I was pulling deep Philly hip hop. Like I'm actually like just the opposite. I'm trying to show nothing but love and respect. I will say I am surprised Beanie Siegel nor Freeway got on there before Bahamadia.
Maybe they just want to throw another lady on there,
or this like old school.
Yeah, but are the Roots considered old school? If the Roots are considered old school, then Beanie and Freeway would have to.
That's true. At the risk of seeming sexist or shit, Meek Mill. I mean, like you talk about, like if we're gonna talk about iconic Philly hip hop dudes. Like if I'm in place outside of Philly wearing a t-shirt repping Philly hip hop, like I love Bahamadia, but I don't know how Meek and Beanie Siegel don't get on a shirt before Bahamadia.
Like I said, maybe it's just to put another woman on there,
right?
Because otherwise, it really is Lady B. I'm trying to think of another lady MC from Philly or hip hop representative. And outside of Lady B, that's really it. And Bahamadia.
Like, just to be 100% clear, once you stop talking about MC Light and Latifah, I can't think of a female MC better than Bahamadia.
Oh wow, I disagree on that. I can come up with a couple. Not many. Oh,
who you think better than Bahamadia?
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey. I don't think she's as good as Bahama. I think she's as good. That's a good pull, Jean Grey, though.
I think Jean Grey is,
because I think Bahamadia is a monster.
No, I think she's a beast too.
Yeah,
I think Jean Grey is every bit the beast that she
Jean
is.
Grey. That's a good pull. Anyone else? You just say a couple.
Well, okay. Jean. Oh God, I just drew a blank on her name. Fat Joe's girl. You know her. Oh, with Fat Joe's crew.
I probably do once you say her. It's not like Charlie Baltimore.
No, not Charlie Baltimore.
I mean, I don't know.
No.
All right. Regardless. All right. Yeah. I'm not trying to get.
Oh man, come on! Now I got
in the muck, in the mire.
The Terror Squad, Fat Joe. That's not bringing me her. Oh man, she was in jail. She came home.
Oh, you think what is her name that went to jail?
Remy Ma.
Remy Ma ain't nowhere near as good as Bahamadia. No, nowhere near as good as Bahamadia. Near. Like, this is insulting. This is an insulting conversation. And I think Remy Ma is all right. But not even near Bahamadia.
Rem is nice. Rem is nice.
Yeah, I disagree with her in the same breath as Bahamadia.
Okay. I mean, maybe.
But okay. It sounds like a nice present, whatever it is, though.
It does sound like a nice
present. Look at Toya.
Yeah.
Getting nice presents.
Toya's a nice person.
She is thoughtful, even.
She is very much
thoughtful. Even.
She is. Vincent, are you ready for the game show that is sweeping the nation?
Yes, I am.
All right, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Your favorite game show is coming up soon. But first, we have listener mail.
All right, missives from the missionaries.
Yes, we do. And let me get over to our listener bag, as it were. Ladies and gentlemen, just give me one moment to bring that up. Here we go. We have an email, Vince, that we received long time since we have heard from Dexter Jones.
Hey, Dexter, what's going on?
Sir Dexter Jones.
All right.
Greetings, Vincent and Len.
What's going on?
It's been a while since I first wrote to you guys, but rest assured, you haven't lost the fan.
Oh, good.
The Micheaux Mission is still my #1 listened to podcast. But I did feel compelled to write to you guys again regarding a missed opportunity during one of your 6 Degrees of Derville Martin games, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Okay, what is our missed opportunity?
I believe it was on the episode that you reviewed Trading Places.
Okay.
Before you started the game, you shared an audio message from one of your fans who did you guys the much needed favor of connecting Derville Martin to Meryl Streep in very few steps, because you guys were struggling with that.
We were. That was before I had my Dick Anthony Williams key, though, because now now I get to Meryl Streep.
Then, ironically, the next challenge was getting from Derville to Viola Davis.
Which, yeah.
Unfortunately, you took the long route again, fellas. The same route that the fan suggested to Meryl Streep, you could have taken to Viola Davis, because Meryl and Viola worked together on a film called Doubt in 2008.
Yeah, they sure did.
I really tried to let it slide for 2 weeks, but I just... I just had to say something to you directly, since yelling at you via my Spotify account didn't help any. Now that that's out of the way, and speaking of Derville Martin, I've been giving some thought to who might be considered a modern day Derville.
Okay.
And I wanted to know how you guys felt about Bokeem Woodbine taking up the mantle.
That is so funny. I was thinking Bokeem Woodbine when he said it.
You don't have to make a game out of it or anything, but it was just a thought. Thank you for the entertainment, Dexter Jones.
Yes, thank you, Dexter. Did you see Doubt?
No, I did not.
Yeah, me either. And I meant to see it because it looked very good.
Yeah,
it looked very good. Well, thank you. And let's not call it a missed opportunity. I'm starting to think of it more as it's almost like The Aristocrats, where it's not so much the answer itself that is the point. It's the journey and what the journey says about you. So, everyone knows the punchline to the joke The Aristocrats is, and we call it The Aristocrats. But the art is in what comes before that.
Yes.
So that's what I'm thinking about. So.
And ladies and gentlemen, before you ask, even though we have license to say what we want on this show, we are not going to tell you the Aristocrats joke.
But understand that the punchline is, and we call it The Aristocrats.
Yes, I know. But there's probably quite a few people listening to the show who don't know the joke.
I know. Well, it's actually kind of appropriate. You know what I thought was fascinating about the documentary, about the joke, is when they interviewed, and I forgot whether it was Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle, whatever black comic was involved, they talked about that there is no black tradition of the Aristocrats because black comedians never had to work under the sort of strict parameters that white comedians did, because black comedians weren't allowed on these, like, you weren't going to be on the Tonight Show. You weren't going to work in the Catskills. Like, you kind of were in these black venues.
Yeah.
So that you didn't need the release that the white comedians needed with the aristocrats.
Right.
So not only would a Micheaux missionary perhaps not know about the aristocrats, but if they are a Micheaux missionary because they are interested in black popular culture, there's no reason for them to know.
No. That being said,
and we call it The Aristocrats.
And you should look for that documentary, for the film out there on some streaming service, because it actually is a very funny.
It's very good
and very interesting.
It's very. I had never heard of The Aristocrats before the documentary.
I think I did, but only because I listened to a lot of like old comedy.
Right.
So
you spent a fair amount of time in the Borscht Belt.
I did. Anyway.
All right,
Vincent.
But now it's time.
You ready?
I am ready. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do this.
All right, Vincent.
Come on.
All right.
Come on.
All right. We're ready. 6 Degrees of Derville Martin, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, I've got 2 on deck, but so we may not get to both.
Okay.
That depends on your speed.
Oh, let's see.
Where you go.
All right.
Ooh, almost knocked down my mouse. All right. 6 Degrees of Derville Martin. Vincent.
Yes.
Can you get from Derville Martin
in 6 moves or less to
Anika Noni Rose?
Oh, I mean, that's easy.
Is it?
Like, that's so easy. Let me see if I can get to him another way than besides the way that I'm going to go.
It's not supposed to be that easy. It's not supposed to be that easy.
You know what? It's so easy. I'm not even going to use Dick Anthony Williams.
You're not going to use the Dick Anthony Williams key?
Right. So we're getting to Anika Noni Rose. Okay. Derville Martin is in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier.
Oh.
Sidney Poitier is in Take Your Pick with Bill Cosby, any of those 3 Bill Cosby movies.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby is in Hotel California with Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor is in Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy, who is in Dreamgirls with Anika Noni Rose. Boom!
How many moves was that?
6.
That was 6 moves?
I took the long way home.
Was there a short? You already had the shorter route?
Oh, the shorter route is Dick Anthony Williams in 5 on the Black Hand Side, who's in Harlem Nights. I'm sorry, who's in Mo Better Blues with Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy is in Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, once again, is in Dreamgirls with Anika Noni Rose. So that's 4 moves.
Okay. All right. Well, that's true. All right. Well, you knocked that out, Vincent.
Hey, man. The Dick Anthony Williams loosens me up.
It does.
So, like, it's not so much pressure.
Okay.
So that I can try and, take the long, like, if I know I have Dick Anthony Williams, like I said, I took the long way home. You ever tell your parents to take the long way home when you came from places?
Yes.
You remember that? I used to tell my parents, or my dad did the driving. Like, Dad, can we take the long way home? Take the long way home. That's usually fun. It's more scenic. So who we got? We got time for the second one, right?
We got time for the second one.
I smashed that one.
Yes. This one I don't have a face for.
Okay.
But 6 Degrees of Derville Martin. Derville Martin.
To
Hugh Boningville.
Okay. First of all, I don't know who that is.
Oh, he is actually in the movie that we're reviewing this evening.
Is he? Who's he play?
He plays.
Is he the banker?
He's the banker.
Yeah, I just don't know anything about him. I just don't know.
Oh.
So no, I can't get to him because I don't know who he is. Derville Martin to Frank, the guy who works behind the register at the CVS by my house. Can you give me 3 movies he was in?
Downton Abbey.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh, yeah, okay. No, well, all right. Give me 2 more.
He was.
I'm sure he was. Go ahead. I just go ahead. I don't know. Like, how you pick the movie version of a TV show?
Well, he was.
Can you do 3 movies that don't have nothing to do with a TV show?
Well, he was in the TV show.
Yes, apparently. What else was he in? Right, because I suspect maybe you don't know. If you started with Downton Abbey, like you don't even know what he was in. He's not even in movies.
No, he is in movies. He's British.
Well, yes, he's British. What else is he in? Come on, give me 2 more.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Right. Look it up because you don't know. You're just pulling names out your ass.
Okay. Full transparency.
Uh-huh.
I had another name ready.
Uh-huh.
But you got that one so easy. I was like, oh, he's gonna get this one too easy.
So now you just look it up.
I changed it real quick. He was in Paddington.
I just don't know who else was in
He was in Notting Hill.
Notting Hill.
Yes, he's in Notting Hill. With Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant.
Oh, Julia Roberts. Boom. I do have to use Dick Anthony Williams though.
So you gotta take out your key.
Yeah. So Derville Martin is in 5 on the Black Hand Side. Dick Anthony Williams, who's in Mo Better Blues with Denzel Washington, who's in that lawyer movie with Julia Roberts.
That was the name of it. Yes.
Yeah. Who's in Notting Hill? No, Julia Roberts. You said Julia Roberts is in Notting Hill.
Yes.
Who's in Notting Hill with Hugh Bonneville?
Denzel Washington, Julia Roberts, that lawyer
movie,
rated R,
where she wanted to have a love scene with Denzel Washington, and Denzel Washington said, "Nah."
Shout out to the missionaries because I said Hugh Bonneville, and Janine wrote in the chat immediately, Notting Hill with Julia Roberts.
See, there you go. Who's the one you thought was going to be easy? We just knocking them out the park.
I mean, well, this one, because I was pulling from the movie, so you got to the Anika Noni Road, so now you can get to this person easy.
Like Forrest Whitaker or Key.
Okay. Without using Jingle Jangle, get from Derville Martin
to
Keegan-Michael Key.
Okay. How do I want to do this?
Derville Martin to Keegan-Michael Key. Of Key and Peele fame.
Sure.
One of the stars of Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey.
Okay. I have to do. I do have to use Better Blues though.
Using the what's it, Anthony Williams key.
And you said we're getting to
Keegan-Michael.
Okay.
From Derville Martin.
Derville Martin is in 5 on the Black Hand Side. Dick Anthony Williams, who's in Mo Better Blues with I just lost it because I'm getting to in Mo Better Blues with Wesley Snipes, who's in Jungle Fever with Queen Latifah, who's in Girls Trip with Tiffany Haddish, who's in Keanu with Keegan-Michael Key.
Was Tiffany Haddish and Keanu?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't remember her now.
So that's 5 moves. And I did not use Jingle Jangle.
You did not use Jingle Jangle. Well, you have become a master.
Oh.
Once you got your Dick Anthony Williams key.
I laughed at Dexter saying that he held it for 2 weeks. Like sometimes I just sit around now.
To just be mapping out.
Like I just sit around and map out. Like, I saw like Zendaya and Tom Holland. I was like, well, I can get to. Oh, because you know what? Here's what enraged me. I was angry at you a few weeks ago about Cate Blanchett.
Mm-hmm.
And you named all this silly stuff. And then you said, oh, yeah, also she was in Thor.
Right.
I'm going to just tell you right now, take all the Marvel stuff off the table.
Okay.
Because as soon as I get from Dick Anthony Williams to Mo Better Blues was Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm.
That's everything Marvel.
That's true.
Like he has infected. Like now, I have everyone who's ever been in a Marvel movie.
The world is opened up
because of Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. He is the key.
So
he is the 21st century's Dick Anthony Williams.
This is 21st century Dick Anthony Williams. Although if I was being fancy, I would go from Samuel L. Jackson.
See, now you feeling yourself.
To Zendaya through Dune. But like I had to do some fancy Star Wars things and basically have to juke the stats and have James Earl Jones as Darth Vader's voice in a couple of things.
Did you like Dune?
I love Dune. I'm a Dune dude though.
Yeah, I know. It was good. It didn't wow me.
Look, man.
I mean, the money was on the screen.
The money was on the screen. Quietly, I've never understood people who like Dune who don't like the book. Like, I think Dune is almost like, and we should probably, because see, now you've actually opened up something with me. Like, I'm amazed that people like Lord of the Rings who didn't like read I'm not. Like, I think Lord of the Rings did a really good job.
You're talking about the movies.
The movies.
Okay.
Like, I think Lord of the Rings I think Peter Jackson did a great job sort of distilling the Tolkien stuff into a movie version. Because for years, like Lord of the Rings is something like it really is this immersive world that you have to kind of get into and commit to for the payoffs that come not that often.
Right.
So the way he distilled them into those 3 movies, I thought was really great.
Okay.
The thing about Dune, like Dune doesn't really have a lot of those set pieces.
No, it doesn't.
Like you do with Dune is very contemplative and very sort of thoughtful and real political.
Yeah.
And the thing about this first part of Dune is that it hews pretty closely to the books. So like I loved it. But like, I was a 15-year-old nerd sitting somewhere reading Dune. Like, wow, man, this is so awesome, man. Dune, man. Fear is the mind killer. So. But yeah, I loved it. You didn't? Wasn't your jam?
I mean, it was good. It just didn't wow me.
Okay.
And maybe it's because I watched it. I can't remember which I watched first, that or Foundation.
Right.
On Apple TV.
Foundation said, you know what? We ain't doing most of the stuff in the book. We just gonna make up some stuff.
Yeah, I haven't finished Foundation. It's good, but it's a little slow.
Yeah, and it's immensely faster than the book.
Really?
I actually just reread the first one, and I've been chuckling as I read it along, going, "Oh yeah, they said we're not doing this.
Wow, man, they got to sell.
We're not doing this either. Okay, we're not going to do this." But yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right, there you go.
But I try and get to Zendaya through Star Wars instead of Marvel. But you understand, like Dick Anthony Williams and Mo Better Blues in the Marvel universe are like my big, like,
all right,
like those are my not even cheat keys. They're just like a skeleton key.
I've been taking it easy on you.
All right.
Yeah, because it's Christmas.
Hey, look.
But if we're going to continue this through the rest of the road to 300, I'm going to have to toughen up a little bit.
Oh, well, I like it because now the pressure is on you. See, the pressure wasn't on me.
Yeah.
But now the pressure's on you.
Oh, no, I've been taking it easy.
Okay.
Dude, be
You
prepared.
going to do like Fatty Arbuckle?
Devin Martin, the D.W. Griffin. Go.
Right. Exactly. All right. That's fair.
I spot you too.
All right. Tighten it up. I'm ready.
All right.
All right.
But let's first, now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our review of Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. But first, It's time for trailer talk.
It is time for trailer talk. What would you like to talk about, Lynn?
Well, one thing I want to talk about real quick is that in the chat, Khadijah Waldron.
Hey, Khadijah.
Typed in, "Damn it, this Wi-Fi in Jamaica sucks." So apparently she's trying to watch it from Jamaica and having a hard time.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I thought the Wi-Fi in Jamaica was lovely the last time I was there, but I don't know.
I feel bad about the Wi-Fi, but unfortunately, because I haven't had dinner, the first thing I thought was, oh, she can probably go get some slamming oxtails, though.
You know what? I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were mentioning, like, in passing, that they had some oxtails like the other day. And it dawned on me that every time I go to get Jamaican food, I tell myself I'm going to get some oxtails. And I see somebody walking out with the oxtails, and they look so good.
Look, man.
And then I walk up to the register, and I say, "Can I get some chicken?"
Okay.
I've never had oxtail.
Okay.
And maybe it's also because I've kind of like cut out, for the most part, a lot. Like I eat beef maybe 3 times a year.
That is probably a good, not even probably, that's a good practice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I have it. And I'm also worried because it's oxtails. It sounds like it's tough.
It's not.
It's not tough.
It's
if it's
not
cooked right. It's not tough.
And yeah, and the thing I love about oxtails, like she said, the Wi-Fi was bad in Jamaica. She could have said the Wi-Fi was bad in a variety of countries on the continent of Africa or in the American South. And I may have thought, wow, she can probably get some good oxtails.
Really?
Like, the thing I love about oxtails is that so many of us from different parts of the diaspora do them.
Yeah.
And do them well.
Okay.
Like, West African oxtails. And then, my people are from the South. And oh my God. My great grandmother used to make oxtails. Sometimes I'd want to cry. They were so good.
Janine says that oxtails cooked right fall off the bone.
They 100% fall off the bone.
So like your best ribs fall off the bone. So like
they 100% fall off the bone.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
What do you eat with the oxtail?
Rice.
So rice.
Just over rice.
So eat it over rice. Okay. All right. I have to.
Damn, now I want some oxtails. And they're expensive. Like, they've become gentrified. They used to be real cheap.
Really?
Oh my goodness. Wait, which part? That they were cheap or that now they're expensive?
Now they're expensive.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. See, now you need my wife to call in and talk about how expensive oxtails are.
Wow. Yeah, because I always thought it was kind of like, it's just like neighborhood food.
They used to be super cheap, but they've gotten really expensive.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Fuck. Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So, Khadijah, if the signal goes out, which I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, we do too.
Listen to the podcast tomorrow and go and get some oxtails.
Well, there you go. That's right. Farrell Blackwell says oxtails is the new pork belly.
Yeah, that's real talk.
Really?
Yeah, that's real talk. Yeah, they're really expensive.
Like, define.
Oh, don't ask me. Like,
no, I mean, because if I get oxtail, I want to know if I'm paying a good price for it.
Oh well, I have to say I rarely buy them out. Like,
so
when you'll make them,
cooked.
right. Like when you'll make them.
Oh, okay.
But it's like they've become dramatically more expensive as the years have gone by. And I do remember that. I mean, they were poor people food.
Yeah, that's why.
Like they were 100% poor people food. There's actually a beautiful conversation that I saw between Eddie Wong, the chef, the Asian chef, and Michael K. Williams, who I believe is from parts of I forget where he's from, but I don't think he was born here. I think his people are from somewhere else. And they talked about how oxtails, they were actually talking about oxtails, how it was one of these things that you could go to the butcher. And I think it was Eddie Wong said his mother used to go to the butcher and the butcher was throwing them out.
Wow.
Like just like offal, like we just throw it. I mean, that's something else that we eat too. Well, offal, chitlins and hog maws, which ain't my thing, but I appreciate what we've done with them. But yeah, they used to be super cheap. And again, like my great grandmother was not Madam C.J. Walker. Like, she was a woman of humble means, and she would make some oxtails. So,
God bless.
But they have gotten expensive.
God bless. All right.
All right. This has been Oxtail Talk with Vincent Lynn. Next on Fresh Air, we talk to a poet who puts together haiku based on her herb garden. What is it, 17 syllables? It says like, Basil.
Oh boy.
You are fresh. I put you on my pizza. My breath smells like spring. Boom, bitches! Haiku for your ass. How you like that?
That was beautiful.
This has been Fresh Air with Terry Gross.
That was beautiful, Vince.
Haiku based on your herb garden.
You know, there's a podcast called The Film Cast, right? And it's 3 guys and they review movies.
Okay. I like those.
And just because this one dude years ago did this as a joke, the lead host now makes one of the guys, before he gives his review, to give a summary of his review in the form of a limerick.
Okay. There once was a man from Nantucket.
So from now on, I want your reviews
to be in a limerick,
to start off in a haiku.
As a haiku.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I can try.
I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, you just booming bitches. So let's see, you come with a haiku.
That's trailer talk.
Well, we're still in trailer talk.
That's trailer talk.
We're still in trailer talk.
I would never boom bitches on the actual podcast. I forgot we were actually live. I thought I was just in here with you. Lynn is the only one I would be somewhere saying, boom, bitches. Like if we were playing 6 Degrees of Derville Martin with just the 2 of us in here.
Yes. The bitches will be booming all over the place.
Yes, bitches, booming bitches.
All right. Enough of your tomfoolishness. Farrell Blackwell says new podcast idea, Gentrified Eats.
Yeah. Well, that would just make me sad.
I know. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. All right. All right. Let's. Bree 517 says Vincent is a poet and he knows it.
And he knows it.
You're so right, Bree. Bree, you could not be more right on that one. Jesus, that's the last thing. He damn well does know it. Son of a bitch. Anyway.
I am ready. I'm ready. I'm good.
This movie here. It's silliness. Decades after being betrayed by his apprentice, a once joyful toy maker finds new hope when his bright young granddaughter arrives on his doorstep. Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey from the year 2020 was written and directed by David E. Talbert and stars Forrest Whitaker, Keegan Michael Key, Anika Noni Rose, Felicia Rashad, Lisa Davina Phillips, Ricky Martin, and introducing one Madeline Mills in this new Christmas favorite by way of Netflix and Vincent selection for today. Our first stop on 2 weeks of Christmas on the road to 300 on the Micheaux mission. Vincenzo, what say you of Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey?
I think Jingle Jangle is almost like a cup of hot cocoa. Like, it is pleasant. It is warm. There aren't many surprises in the film itself. I think the performances range from very good to surprisingly good, not because I was surprised that people were good at what they did, but I was surprised at some aspect of their performance.
Gotcha.
You start, yeah, as you said, it's a story that has all of the markings of a fairy tale, or it's the type of story that you hear around Christmas. Forrest Whitaker playing Geronicus, who is a toy maker.
Yes,
you know, so you have a toy maker and you have an apprentice who steals the toys, the toy plans, which then, you know, fast forwards and Geronicus turns into a grumpy old man along the lines of a Scrooge. So you have magic, you have children who are charming. Again, very kind of straightforward.
Yes.
Opens up and it lets you know what you're in for. It is bookended by 2 vignettes where Felicia Rashad plays the grandmother of 2 children, and she then tells us the story. And it's Felicia Rashad. Like, it is Felicia Rashad. It's funny. I was thinking about our very first episodes, actually, and my sort of mantra that Bill Cosby is not Cliff Huxtable,
right?
And kind of go from there. And I think it's fair to say Felicia Rashad is not Claire Huxtable,
right?
But I do think she has aged very well. Very sort of elegantly, very graceful, so that Felicia Rashad as a grandmother reading A Christmas Story is fantastic. Like when it was over, I wanted her to close the book and then open up another book and say, you know, now I'm going to tell you the story of John McClane, a New York detective who goes to a Christmas party with his wife. I just want Felicia Rashad to tell stories. So she's great. Plays the role of this warm, wonderful grandmother. Anika Noni Rose, look, it's a running joke. I love Anika Noni Rose, but let's be clear. My Anika Noni Rose love is rooted in when I first saw her. When she was the co-star in the 2 seasons of the #1 Ladies Detective Agency with Jill Scott. And the reason I was drawn to her immediately is she is one of these actors that I love that can do everything. She's a great dramatic actress. She's funny, both in her timing and her physical humor, quietly. She's a wonderful singer.
Yes.
And the thing about the #1 Ladies Detective Agency is that over the 2 seasons, you saw her display all of these talents. It has frustrated me that very rarely, if at all, has she gotten vehicles where you see the breadth of her talent.
Yeah.
She's very good as a dramatic actress, or you see her in something like Dreamgirls and she sings, but you don't see everything. And this is another example of it. Anika Noni Rose is in here, but I think she's in here for 3 scenes.
Maybe.
And the first scene where we are introduced to Journey, who is the heroine of the play, you know, played by Madeline Mills. I don't even know if she talks. Like, I think Madeline, you know, she basically says, you know, go talk to your grandfather, behave. But
you don't know if Anika talks,
right?
Oh,
right.
She talks.
Yeah, but it's like, you know,
she's not saying anything.
Right? She's not saying anything. She says, go, hey, have fun with your grandfather, behave yourself.
Yeah.
But she has a song with Forrest Whitaker. She does exactly what you expect Anika Noni Rose to do with a song. She gets a moment where she has an affecting scene with her father that she has been estranged from. And she does fine. But I don't think she didn't really stretch.
Right.
Likewise, anyone who watched Key and Peele over the years knows that Keegan-Michael Key is very talented.
Yes.
And he has musical talent, actually. Like, you can tell he has a thing for musical theater. And his big number on a scale of 1 to, I think it was Negroland was the big number on Key and Peele. It's about a 7. Like, he does his job. He does just fine. To me, Ricky Martin, same thing. Charming, plays the minuet, the voice of the minuet, Don Juan Diego, who's sort of a villain as well. And fine, Ricky Martin, charming, does his job. This is something I'm going to keep saying. Everybody does their job. Forest Whitaker. First of all, I didn't know Forest Whitaker could be funny. Like, I know we've talked about him one time before in I just forgot the name of it. Not Hell Up in Harlem. With Robin Givens.
Rage in Harlem.
Rage in Harlem.
Rage in Harlem.
Where he was awkward, he was kind of funny, but kind of distracting.
A little bit, yeah.
I really like him in this. I like grumpy old man Geronicus that he plays, who's really heartbroken because his wife has died, and you can tell he has a heart of gold. And then Forest Whitaker sings. And it's like, all right, Forest Whitaker singing. All right, okay, I'll go along with that. If there is a real standout that I was surprised by, it would be Lisa Davina Phillip as Ms. Johnston, who is the mail lady who is very interested in Geronicus. And she has a performance that she's not singing. It's actually the singing voice of Marissa Wallace.
Yes.
But it is, again, Lisa Davina Phillip acting it out.
Yeah, she's embodying the role.
And it is maybe the best scene in the film, where she's singing to Geronicus, and it is full of life and verve. And again, it is very funny. All 5 of the child actors, from the 2 actors who play the grandchildren in the beginning, and I don't have them right in front of me right now.
That played
the grandchildren in the framing.
Oh, okay. That would be, I don't have their names.
To we're talking about it. Let me cut this out.
Because I'm looking at the cast, but I don't see
right. I was looking at the cast too, and doesn't
list those 2 young laid children.
Right, it doesn't.
That's interesting.
But certainly Kieran Dyer is Edison. And Madeline Mills as Journey, who's the star. These are great performers. I love these kid performers, and these are good, solid kid performers who do a good, solid job. So that, again, I think this is a good, solid Christmas movie. There are some songs. I know I like musicals more than you like musicals, but I like the songs. I like the choreography of the dancing, all of that. Solid movie. I think,
real quick, just because I found it, the grandson was played by Kenya Sandy, and the granddaughter played by Rhea Calvin.
And they're good kids. They're good kids. They seem like they're actually brother and sister. They do well with Felicia Rashad. In my mind, there are 4 real stars of Jingle Jangle. 4 real artistic movers that I really respect and want to shout out. The first is Rob Cameron, and he's the set designer. Love these sets. I love this world. I love this Victorian, late 19th century English world that he has created. I think the thing about Rob Cameron that is important when you talk about his set design and what he has worked on is that Rob Cameron also worked on Game of Thrones. So this is someone who knows about designing fictional worlds,
building worlds,
and literally building these worlds. And this is a set that really stands up to scrutiny.
Yeah.
So whether we are talking about Geronicus's shop, whether we're talking about Gustavin's factory, whether we are talking about the streets themselves, the carts, the everything looks like this is an actual place. And I love that. I love everything about that. This is one of my favorite sets in a long time. Second, Michael Wilkinson, who designed the costumes. Love these costumes. I adored these costumes. I love this. I love the stylistic choice that, again, this is in the Dickensian tradition. In fact, at the very beginning, one of the grandchildren, before Felicia Rashad's character starts the story, says, "Can you read us a Christmas Carol?"
Yeah.
So this is these are costumes that very much resemble this Victorian costume wear and this old, period specific clothing. But I love how colorful it is.
Yeah.
I love how he literally brings colors to the costumes. And I've mentioned it previously. I'll say it again. I am not a cosplayer, but nerd loves nerds. So I love that aspect of nerdity where people do I joke about, I don't dress up, but I respect people who do it and the craft that goes into it. And I love Black cosplayers. And I love the gift that these costumes give to that community. Along those lines, Sharon Martin, who, if you know anything about the way that this film looked, she may be the name that you've heard because she is the one who designed the makeup and the hairstyles.
Yes.
And there was a fair amount of publicity around her when this film came out and how she researched Victorian era hairstyles that Black women were wearing. You can watch this film and just look at the women in their hair. I mean, it is glorious.
Yeah.
Every female character in this film, their hair is actually glorious with what they've done, and I mean, they're crowns. Like, they're actually crowns, and I adored every part of that, which then leads to, in my mind, who I celebrate the most with this film, and that's David E. Talbert.
There you go.
Like, I love and respect and admire what David E. Talbert has done with this.
Right. And he's the writer-director.
He's the writer and director. But I love how intentionally he has brought Blackness to these spaces. Again, this is, if we're talking Christmas, you're talking Charles Dickens. You're talking this Victorian space. You mentioned Downton Abbey a few minutes ago. Like, this is an environment that we talk about, but up until fairly recently, it has been lily white.
Right, as far as its depiction.
Depiction. So David E. Talbert very intentionally putting Black people in these spaces. And not just putting them in the spaces, but again, having the intentionality of researching actual hairstyles, bringing color to the costuming, all of that. I just admire that so much. Hand in hand with that Victorian space, just to keep it nerdy, this is a steampunk production, and steampunk is really, it's, this is an aspect, people who like steampunk, it is really like the technology that, oftentimes fictional technology. So you think about something like Jules Verne, and 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and Around the World in 80 Days, and H.G. Wells with the Time Machine, and it's lots of gears, lots of actual steam,
right?
But
the Victorian vision of the future, and technology.
Right. But this is also a space that oftentimes it's just white.
Yeah.
So again, David E. Talbert has blackness in this space. And then the thing I noticed today that just goes along with this, like I talk about him putting blackness in this traditional Christmas space that is usually and traditionally all white. There is there's a narrative move that this film makes where when it transitions from the framing device of the story to the story itself, or to show the transition of time, it goes to these puppets and these marionettes, but they look like the Rankin Bass stop motion puppets.
They definitely,
So now you have blackness in this space where we talk about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, not Frosty Snowman, because that's a cartoon, The Year Without a Santa Claus, like all of those classic cartoons. And again, I don't think this is accidental.
Right.
So that, look, this film is 2 hours and a little bit of change. I think it's really long for a kid's movie.
Yeah.
And I think certainly you can make an argument for editing.
Yes.
Like, for a kid's movie, I'm really thinking 145, you're pushing it. Like if you're going to sit a 7-8-year-old down to watch this.
Yep.
But I can't be that, like, that's sort of my Micheaux mission critique. Like, it's too long. There are scenes that I think could have been edited. Like, there's a scene where they introduced the robot that I thought went on a little long.
Yeah.
But I have to say, even that scene, as someone who just loves all of this stuff that I just talked about, I just spent that entire scene, because I think this is like my third time seeing it, looking at Geronicus's lab.
Yeah.
Looking at the notebooks, looking at the cases, looking at the tools. Like he's got this beautiful sort of like bib that he wears, that it's leather and just everything.
You want that bib, don't you?
There's so many. Let's be clear. I would dress like Geronicus if I could pull it off. Like just a purple top coat.
You don't think you can pull it off?
Oh, I think you look like a crazy person trying. See, the problem is everybody has to be dressed like that.
No, they don't. Vince, you could pull that off.
Yeah, I'm not really trying to.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah,
you don't have the confidence.
I don't have the confidence
because you don't dress like.
Because I don't dress like that. You're right. I don't.
Because you could pull it off.
Maybe you think maybe I could.
100%.
100%. So I'm gonna get like the purple top coat.
Yes.
And the top and the hat.
Yes.
Maybe. Oh, I'm glad we talked about that, because the other thing that I liked is Gustafson, who is a fraud.
Yes.
Because he's stolen all of Geronicus's plans. I love the fact that he's dressed all in green, and that green is his color.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a reference to the Great and Mighty Oz.
Oh, I didn't think about that, but yeah, I guess.
So I love that kind of stuff. So that, yeah, I really like it. Yeah, I really like this movie.
Well, just real quick, because the missionaries in the chat are bombarding us with information, and to be fair, it's Miss Makiba who's bombarding us with information. She makes mention that we should mention the HBCU connections for Jingle Jangle. David E. Talbert is a graduate of Morgan State, Felicia Rashad, Howard, and Anika Noni Rose, Florida A&M.
Okay.
And she also mentioned, and this was the fact that I was going to bring it up, that Forrest Whitaker trained actually to be an opera singer.
Okay.
So we are, and I found that out in like an interview. He did an interview about the movie where he mentions it. But before I even saw that interview, I remember thinking the first time that I saw this film, and just something about the way that he was singing made me think he had some type of training in his background. You know what I mean? It wasn't just trying to belt. There was just something about the way he was breathing as he was singing. It moved. It brought to mind Audra McDonald,
Okay.
who is an amazing, talented, and classically trained singer as well. So yeah, and also Miss Makeba, who is just I'm telling you, she is bombarding us with. Did you notice that young Geronicus was waiting for that magic spark to arrive from Wakanda?
Yeah, well, right, there's a Wakanda sticker on the, and there's a Wakanda sticker on
the box.
The box too. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I remember that came out.
And this, I just learned in reading about the movie. I didn't realize that all of the buildings have names on them, and those names are the names of famous Black inventors.
I didn't know that. I forgot. Yeah.
So that was really cool. I'm glad that you went to the Rankin Bass connection on this, because as much as you bringing up Charles Dickens, it definitely does. There is a Dickensian feel to this film. But the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm actually thinking the Year Without a Santa Claus, and how this movie is almost that world come to life. Definitely more colorful, but it feels like it is set in that time. People kind of speak with like a slight hint of an accent, that they're trying to like faux accent. So without trying to place this any place, they still have like a little bit of a little accent to them. Even the young kids in the beginning speak with a little bit of an accent. So I noticed that. I enjoyed that. Loved it. You're right. Everybody is okay. Everybody, the kids are great. You can't knock them. This is introducing Madeline Mills. I see great things in front of her. She's a very lively, energetic young performer. So she was great in this film. Your girl, Anika Noni Rose, in it for a little, but she's giving it the whole pound, and she knocks it out the box. And I hope that this does not prove the case, but I hope that Anika Noni Rose doesn't become this generation's Tisha Campbell, and like just never gets that real star on top. Like Anika Noni Rose, if it's not going to be in a movie, then one of these prestige streamers or something should just say, what can we make for you? Either going to be a series or whatever, just so that you can just flow and do everything. Because like you said, she's funny. She could do drama. She could sing. like there's nothing she can't do. So you just hope that she gets that vehicle. Great for her. Keegan Michael Key in this film, watching him perform and dance and sing, his version of singing. He's not really a great singer or anything like that, but you could definitely, that he has his way of moving his physicality and getting it and scrunching up his face and stuff like that. He's a delight. He's an actual delight. I'm watching him, and in my mind, I'm seeing, a young Dick Van Dyke at the height of his powers, right? And
that's a good, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. You are living right if people are comparing you to Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dick Van Dyke. I believe he just turned like 97 or 98 years old. So yeah, so I'm in the bag for him. Felicia Rashad, like you said, she, was she Claire Huxtable? No. But I don't know. I don't know the woman. So I if I learned that she was more like Claire Huxtable than we thought, I believe it. Because Claire Huxtable was a smart, successful mother who was sexy as hell. So I could totally. I look at Felicia Rashad. She seems smart. I know she's successful and she's sexy, and she's never stopped being sexy. So like, and she has aged so gracefully. Like you can't believe she still looks like Claire Huxtable, for God's sake. So I like that. The colors, the costuming, everything, the songs, I'm not big on musicals. The songs they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can roll with them. It's cool. Lisa Davina Phillips, like you said, it is the best scene in the movie. It is knockdown funny. You know, the background singer come up, and I'm like, oh, this is insane. I love what you're doing here. And
so good.
David E. Talbert,
Mm-hmm.
the writer director, who's done a bunch of stuff, but if you look in his filmography, the last few years, he's just been knocking out Christmas movies lately. I think he's found his lane with this Christmas movie stuff.
I think,
and no shame on that.
Mm-hmm.
And no shame on then doing this big musical, because he knows what to do with the camera in a musical. Pull back and let's see the dancing. Let's see the choreography. And you can see the choreography and the beautiful set pieces. Fantastic. My Micheaux review of this film is, like you said, it's a little long. It could get chopped down a bit. I don't know exactly 100% where you could chop it down, but you could dip and tuck this thing down to probably, like you said, probably an hour 45 is good, right? That's only losing about 15-20 minutes.
Right.
And because there is some parts of the plot where it does seem to kind of go back and forth and then back again before, like, you know, this could have wrapped up a little quicker. The whole time I'm listening to Ricky Martin as Don Juan Diego, who, shout out to the animation on that character, because the animation on that character was breathtaking, and Johnny Labey provided the motion capture of Don Juan Diego, and he was the light. I could have watched him all day, just that little character.
Right.
Ricky Martin as the voice was just all right.
Okay.
And I felt this the first time I watched the film, so this was my second time watching this movie, and it really hit me this time. This role was made for Antonio Banderas. The whole time I'm listening to Ricky Martin here, I'm saying, yeah, you're all right, but boy, Antonio Banderas would have knocked this thing out the box.
I mean, he would have been Puss in Boots, though.
No, he wouldn't have. Antonio Banderas would have found a way to put a spin on it where he's not Puss in Boots, because Puss in Boots was French. This is not French. This is a bit more closer to his actual dialect.
That is a good retort.
So
I just lump all them foreigners together.
Easy.
And this is how it starts.
Easy.
This is how it starts. Yeah. Puss in Boots was French. Yes.
You was booming bitches and trailers.
I know. I think you put something in my water.
So the whole time I'm just
an ignorant ass American. What do you want from me?
There you go. I'm waiting for, like, you know, the Antonio Banderas cut of this film.
Right.
So, and Ricky Martin, he's cool. I don't have a problem with it.
Sure.
It's just that it would have been so much more.
Okay.
And shout out to Justin Cornwell, who plays a young Geronicus in this movie.
Yeah.
Because he is lively, he's fun, and also shout out to the actress who plays Joanna, his wife, Sharon Rose.
Yeah,
Joanne, excuse me. She's great as well. And you talked about, like, when they go to the puppets and the marionettes, and the scene when they go to the marionettes of when the wife passes. It hit me, because it comes like this, and I'm like, oh, and then it's got like marionette rain and all. But back to Justin Cornwell as young Geronicus, he's great. And I understand that he grows into Forrest Whitaker's Geronicus after dealing with the loss of his wife,
right,
and the estrangement that settles in between him and his daughter Jessica, the Anika Noni Rose character.
Sure.
So that makes sense that Forrest Whitaker, who you look at Forrest Whitaker, you don't see jolly, right?
No.
So it makes sense that he grows into Forrest Whitaker.
Mm-hmm.
But I contend that Forrest Whitaker is still miscast in this movie, because while he definitely wears the forlorn face of somebody who's dealing with some stuff, right? There are still moments in this movie where, like you said, he's asked to be funny, and I don't find him funny.
Oh,
I find his timing off in this film. I find the acting that he's doing in this film sometimes bumping up against the acting, against the tone that the film is setting. There's a moment in this film where he has to scream at Journey, and I got scared. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you're necessarily supposed to be scared. I mean, you're supposed to feel it, but you're not supposed to be scared.
So you thought it was too much?
It was because it's Forrest Whitaker. It's Ghost Dog screaming at me.
right.
So I just really I felt, and then there's moments, even to your point, the best scene in the film with Lisa Davinia as Mrs. Johnston singing Miles and Miles and all that stuff, and the background singers. Forrest Whitaker is he's in that scene as well. He's not singing, but he's kind of like responding to what's happening. And if you look at him, he's still kind of like in character, but there's a way that even in your dourness of the character, you can respond to that a little bit more in tune with the pop of the music and the scene, and still not lose the character. And he doesn't, right? And I don't want to think that that's the direction, because it really is just him in that scene, right? And I think there are other scenes where that plays out. It's not that he's doing a bad job. It's just that he's miscast for this role, to me.
Okay.
And that's what kept me from fully embracing this movie, right? But who cares? The movie's not for me. It's for someone totally younger than me. It's for a totally different crowd. And in that vein, it succeeds wholeheartedly. And should this movie become a Christmas tradition? It should. It's almost a shame of it that it's a Netflix movie, because it'll never leave the realms of Netflix. Right. But Netflix is just about become like a utility now. So pretty much everybody's got it. So people will watch it. And I think that they will sit down and enjoy it. This movie just premiered last year. It's back in their running this year. I wouldn't surprise me if this is one of their number one Christmas movies this year as well. It should be a Christmas tradition. It's a lovely, like, nice, warm blanket of a Christmas film to watch this on Christmas Eve before the kids go to sleep. It's all that and then some. Those are my two little small nits that I will pick about the film. But like you said, you can't knock this movie.
And how many people who watch Christmas Story every year saw it in the movies?
True that.
Like at this point, like it really is just, like you said, a tradition that you watch. Yeah. All right. I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And I think Forrest Whitaker absolutely makes choices. I like him. I thought he was pretty funny, but all right. I'm just to talk about Anika Noni Rose some more.
Okay.
What I would I really wish people would acknowledge her talent like Maya Rudolph is acknowledged. Because I think Maya Rudolph is another actress that is multi-talented. But people kind of acknowledge it. Like she, she's had a variety show. She's
had a sitcom.
She has a really interesting career. Like she does serious stuff. She does funny stuff. Everybody knows she can do all of this stuff. But I just feel like Anika Noni Rose almost gets pigeonholed.
Well, the difference
is this one thing. She had a show on BET for I think I don't know if it even went 2 seasons, where she was like the president of a fictional HBCU. Like, it was just really soapy.
Yeah, see, and I don't think that was her series.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I think she was the head. But it wasn't really.
Yeah, but like, I don't think the show was built around her. It was more of an ensemble. Like, she was maybe like the big star on there, one of them. Yeah. But I think that if I remember, that show was more like an ensemble.
Yeah,
and like you said, it was trying to be soapy.
Yeah.
And the difference with Maya Rudolph is that Maya Rudolph has had opportunities to show not only, you know, all of her skills, but she was on weekly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she was always out in your face, and she was on a show that was where the women were getting pushed, you know?
Right.
So there's the difference there.
I really just want them to start making new episodes of the #1 Ladies Detective Agency. Like just go get Jill Scott, go get Anika Noni Rose, and they just make new episodes.
I thought that show only ran for 2 seasons. I mean, 1 season. It ran for 2 seasons.
Was it 1? It may have been.
I think it only ran for 1 season. Farrell Blackwell says that Anika Noni Rose should hire Vincent as her new manager publisher. She'll never have a more dedicated cheerleader.
Look, man, I all jokes aside, like you talked about Tisha Campbell, and now, you know, bring Tisha Campbell into it. You know, Regina Hall. You know, I think Maya Rudolph gets more opportunities than everyone that we're talking about. But I do think we have these actresses that are so talented. Well, in so many different ways, but because they're Black, they just do not. Like, I was trying to think of who the white actress who would be the equivalent, like
to Anika Noni Rose,
right? Or just the women that I'm naming. Like, you know, I can do dramatic series, I can be serious, I can be funny, both in my delivery and physical humor. I can, you know, in the case of Anika Noni Rose, I can sing. Like,
the person I would think of, the first person that comes to my mind is Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick. That's actually perfect.
Yeah.
They should have the opportunities that Anna Kendrick has.
Yeah.
They 100% should.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is criminal how talented they are.
Janine has, I believe she's taken over for Miss McKeeva. She mentions that Maya Rudolph possibly is getting some of the push that she's doing because she's married to Paul Thomas Anderson.
Right. I mean, it doesn't hurt. But even, I mean, truth be told, I don't think Maya Rudolph has gotten the opportunities that Anna Kendrick has gotten. And to be clear, I think Anna Kendrick is super talented. So like I'm not begrudging her at all.
I like Anna Kendrick.
Yeah.
She also mentions that Anika Noni Rose has been a hit on the Netflix show Made.
I heard she's really good in Made. But once again, I think that's an ensemble and that's a dramatic role. But I heard she's very good.
Yeah.
On there.
Somebody naming like maybe the white equivalent to Anika Noni Rose is shouting out from Facebook, Reese Witherspoon. Possibly. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of Reese Witherspoon's dramatic role that impressed me, and I just can't think of one.
Not off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure she has.
Yeah,
she has. I mean, Reese Witherspoon. You know, who knew Legally Blonde was going to blow up the way it did, and she was in well, it's not dramatic, but she was in Election.
She was really good in Election too.
Really good in Election.
She was real. Ever tell you my Election story?
No, Vince. What's your Election story?
My Election story is on the night of Gore Bush. I watched Election because I said I was going to watch. I was just going to stay up until I knew who had won, and I watched Election. And I was flipping back and forth to, you know, CNN. And what I always say is I watched Election. When Election went off, Al Gore was my president. And then I went to bed.
Oh.
And when I woke up the next day, George W. Bush was my president.
There you go.
So whenever I think about Election, that's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a very good movie.
I always think about that.
Farrell Blackwell says that honestly, he could see Anika Noni Rose in every Kristen Chenoweth role.
Yeah, That's another one. She's another one that
I love Kristen.
Yeah, she's another one.
The only reason I couldn't see her because Kristen, probably because Kristen Chenoweth, she was also in there was an ABC series that had to deal with like down south. It was like Southern type.
Yeah.
So she couldn't be in that.
It's funny because speaking of Keegan-Michael Key, Kristen Chenoweth was in the Apple miniseries that was just on Smigadoon. That was amusing, which, I'm in no way recommending.
Yeah, I heard it was
certainly not to you.
Because isn't Keegan-Michael Key?
Yeah, but I thought it was a hoot. But, I like musicals.
Well, I like Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah. She's good in it.
Kristen Chenoweth.
She's good. Yeah, she's good in it. She's
in my top 10.
Yeah.
Real question.
But that was very much a role that Anika Noni Rose would have murdered.
Would have murdered, right?
Would have murdered her role in Smigadoon.
Yeah. We gotta find something for Anika.
Something for Anika Noni Rose. I just want to have like a variety show. Not even a variety show.
A variety show's not gonna last.
I know it's not gonna last. Like, you know what I would love? Like, okay, Vince got all the money. Like, Vince is now in charge.
Okay.
Not just a variety show, but the Richard Pryor show. Remember, Richard Pryor would be kind of skits and it'd be wacky, but then like they'd have like a 10-minute play in the middle of it.
No, I don't remember that. But okay.
Yeah, it would get real serious.
I don't remember.
It'd be like, the Richard Pryor show is fantastic. When's the last time you watched it?
It's been a while.
You know what? You should buy the Richard Pryor show because they had like a DVD.
Oh, I should.
You should.
Okay.
Because I think you'd enjoy.
You have all the money in the world. Buy me.
All the money. Oh, I do have all the money in the world. I forgot. I just granted myself that.
So buy me the
Richard. Yeah.
What I want for Christmas, Uncle Vincent.
Right. The Richard Pryor show. Right.
No, I don't want to see Anika Noni Rose on that because it's not going to last. I want her on. So I want Anika Noni Rose to This is what I want to see.
Okay.
Anika Noni Rose needs her I Love Lucy.
Yeah,
that's what she needs.
Yeah,
that.
But hell, how many of these actresses need I Love Lucy? Though?
No, they all could use it. I mean,
the bad thing is everyone we just named.
Tisha Campbell, unfortunately, that moment opportunity has left her.
Yeah,
it's still not too late for Anika Noni Rose.
Right?
Why? Because I Love Lucy didn't happen for Lucy until she was like almost 40.
Right.
So there is still time for Anika Noni Rose.
Yeah. I mean, again, just when I said everyone we just named, like I'm including Kristen Chenoweth and Anna Kendrick. Like, I don't think there's a Lucy Ricardo role for any actress in 2020.
Kristen Chenoweth doesn't need an I Love Lucy because she's got all of the royalties from the cast album of Wicked.
No. I'm not talking about like they need it for the money. I'm talking about as a showcase. For a woman's talent.
She don't need. She's had the showcase.
Yeah. What I'm basically saying.
Anna Kendrick doesn't need it because she had Pitch Perfect.
Right.
Anika Noni Rose needs it because Anika Noni Rose, while she was in Dreamgirls, she's not the lead in Dreamgirls. No, she's not. So she needs something that's going to boom, showcase her.
I do hope that Tiana money is good. Like I hope them Tiana residuals, and I think she's going to be the voice of the show that's coming on Disney Plus.
Is she?
I believe I think she's going to be the voice.
See, I don't. Well, first of all, as far as the Tiana money, she's cashing the checks if she's still getting them. But you got to remember when they did that film, Anika Noni Rose she wasn't Anika Noni Rose.
Right. That probably helped make her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she was on Broadway and stuff, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah. It was Disney. They're going to cut a corner if they can cut a corner.
Yeah. Well, I hope that Tiana money for the show. First of all, I hope she does the voice.
I hope so too.
Second of all, I hope they pay her right. Pay that woman.
Yeah.
But
so would you recommend people watch Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Noni Rose?
I would recommend people watch Jingle Jangle once a year at least at Christmas time. Absolutely. I think it very much should be a tradition. Like I said, and I'm going to, as someone who loves Christmas and loves Christmas traditions and loves the American tradition of Christmas with, like with A Christmas Story and It's a Wonderful Life and the Rankin Bass specials and Charlie Brown and The Grinch Stole Christmas and Scrooge and all of the and Die Hard and all of the Christmas
Trading Places,
right? But there is, I think that talking about how A Christmas Story, or more recently something like Elf, has slipped into American tradition. I love the fact so much that David E. Talbert said, this is a space for us too.
Yeah.
And very, like you said, he's been doing Christmas movies and I know there's a whole culture around Hallmark Christmas movies. I know there's been a push to diversify Hallmark Christmas movies and everything that goes along with that. But I think Jingle Jangle has the potential to be as universal as something like A Christmas Story or Elf, which were films that, we're going to make a Christmas movie, but you don't get the sense that the goal wasn't to become part of American pop culture going forward. And I think Jingle Jangle very much should be part of that. So, yeah.
All right.
And you?
Oh, yeah, I would definitely recommend people watch this film. It's an enjoyable moment, enjoyable time in front of the television with some hot cocoa, some a onesie,
a fire,
nice fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a very kick-ass space heater. That's what we do in my house.
The kind with the safety feature that if it gets knocked over, it turns off.
Yeah, well, mine, if you even pick it up, it turns off.
Y'all be real careful with the space heaters, folks.
Okay.
All right, Vincent. It's that time of year.
Jesus.
I know.
All of a sudden. I think you put something in your water.
I get real paranoid about space heaters.
Dude, I'm going to trigger you.
I'm sorry, y'all. You cut that last part out. Jingle jangle.
Woo. All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Check out Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. Before we tell you what we're going to be watching on our second week of Christmas, I have homework for Vincent.
Okay.
Vincent.
Yes.
Next week, here on the Micheaux Mission, I want you to come in for our missionaries.
Okay.
And make out a 10-song holiday playlist.
Gracious.
10 songs.
10 songs.
That's all. 10 songs.
Just 10.
Christmas playlist. Yes.
Just 10.
Just 10.
All right, because I can probably rattle off 10.
Now, I'm sure you could, but no. Just 10 songs.
10 songs.
And that's it. All right.
Okay.
All right. Now,
you gonna do it too?
Well, this is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to come in and I'm going to have a holiday viewing list.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
Now, I'll try and make them, well, we'll do movies. So 10 Christmas movies.
Right. So y'all haven't seen A Year Without a Santa Claus. You're not recommending it, but you should be watching that anyway.
You should be, but that's not a movie.
It's not a movie.
That's a holiday special.
Right.
I mean, if we just did holiday specials, it'd be a wrap.
Exactly.
Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if I could get to 10 holiday specials that are worth watching.
Oh, come on, stop. I mean, you start with the big three. The big four. Rudolph, Charlie Brown, Frosty, Grinch. That's 4 right there.
Okay, that's 4.
Year Without a Santa Claus.
There, where you going?
Don't do that. Santa Claus is coming to town.
No.
Oh, you're bugging. Santa Claus is coming to town. It's fantastic. Put one foot in front of the other.
Okay, I'll give you that. I forgot about that.
Is that in that one? Yeah, because remember, it's the origin of Santa Claus.
Right.
And that's the one where,
that's right.
Right, the wizard is all
that's
evil,
right.
and then he teaches them,
that's right. Okay, all right, so I'll give you that one.
In front of the other.
Yeah.
All right, so what's that, 6?
That's 5.
It's not 5.
You did the big, you did.
I did the big 4, and then I did A Year Without a Santa Claus.
Right.
Santa Claus is coming in town.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I dipped back into Rudolph. I think Rudolph's
Shiny New Year.
Oh
no.
I like Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
No.
I like Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
First of all, it's not Christmas special. It's a New Year's Eve special.
Fair. You know what? That's fair. Okay. So what else do I have for Christmas special?
This is not a Christmas special, but Miss Makiba is saying Roots the Gift.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'm watching that with the kids.
Yeah, no. Yeah, see? You think you could get to 10.
That's really interesting. Do I really run dry after the 6 I just said?
Mm-hmm. Now I'm pulling one in my head. I just can't think of. I'm trying to remember the name. It's the one with the mice. They got to get the clock ringing.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Jug Band Christmas.
The Jug Band. Are you kidding me?
What's it called? You know what I'm talking about? It's like the Otters. It's the Jim Henson joint.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. But
no. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No. That
is fantastic.
The fact that you had to dig deep. And
no. You're right. I am digging deep.
No, that's not. No.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
No.
You don't like Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas?
I'm pretty sure I've never seen it. No.
Yes,
but it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound classic.
And well, I think it was weird because it wasn't coming on for years.
Well, I wonder why. No.
I ride with Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I do.
Okay. No.
Now, to your point, I might be done now.
Yeah, I think you are.
I might be done.
I think you are. My Mouse movie, which I think is...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I actually don't like that because I don't like that mouse because he's a little dick.
Which one? The little boy?
Yeah, I don't like him.
I like him.
He's a little...
And how scary.
Oh, he's a little asshole. I don't like him. I don't like that.
We'll do what's necessary because even a miracle needs a hand.
I don't like that kid. Oh, I don't like him. He's a little asshole. He is.
Oh, he's not.
He is.
He is not because he can fix the clock.
No, but didn't he break it? Isn't he the one that messed everything up at the beginning?
Yes, but it was an accident.
I don't like him.
Father.
I don't like that kid. I've never liked that kid.
Oh, Father. Santa Claus won't come.
I don't like him. Oh, I've hated that little mouse since I was a kid.
I love that special.
Although I'll give that one to you, but
yeah, if I'm giving you these freaking otters that I've never heard of.
Oh, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas is fantastic. Yeah,
Jug Band Christmas. I've never heard of this thing. I gotta ask Olivia. Maybe she watched it. I don't.
But yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, you think there's a bunch, but it's really not.
Isn't that weird? So are you telling me that Rankin Bass? Because you got the Halloween joint that Rankin Bass did. You've got
what Halloween joint did they do?
Oh, come on. That's the famous. That's the only non
Charlie Brown one.
No, I'm thinking about Rankin. Now I'm on the Rankin Bass special because I thought there was just a bunch of Christmas ones.
No.
So I'm thinking of the non-Christmas one. So there's Peter Cottontail,
Peter Cottontail,
which is Easter. Mm-hmm. There's Rudolph's Shiny New Year. There's the one I'm talking about. And this one is hard to find, but it's the Halloween joint.
Oh, I did see that one. I did. Now that I'm remembering it with like all the monsters.
The monsters. It's like the Monster Mash or something.
Yeah.
So besides,
they did. You did Easter.
I swear, I thought Rankin Bass had like 15 specials.
They probably did, but they're not all good. Because they kept trying to.
I thought they were all memorable. Yeah.
No, they're not.
We should probably, because this is
we've got to do a Rankin Bass.
When this is my jam right here, the Rankin Bass.
I will come in next week with all the Rankin Bass. We'll start off the show going through the Rankin Bass. It'll be a very Christmas Micheaux mission.
Right.
Because we've got to dead the show right now. We've got to end it. We've been ending it now for 20 minutes.
Peter Cottontail is dark too, because remember the one rabbit got his tail cut off.
Oh yeah.
And that's why he had the metal tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Cottontail was dark.
A lot of them are kind of
dark. Yeah, like it's a little dark.
Yeah.
Well, Year of Out of Santa Claus.
Just about to say Year of Out of
Santa Claus said, I ain't effing with y'all. Santa Claus. That one little boy said he ain't believe in Santa Claus and he ain't like Santa Claus. And Santa Claus said, you know what? I can show you better than I can tell you. Ain't no Christmas. Santa Claus out. It's like
Santa Claus had left the building.
It's like, wow, Santa Claus, you're a little sensitive, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh God. Oh yeah. See, Down to Mars Girl is pointing out that they had a Jack Frost movie.
Jack Frost.
We'll see. All right.
I remember the Jack Frost. That one, I think that one gets a little dark too.
They all get dark. Rankin Bass all get dark.
Because I think Jack Frost is the one where he's immortal and it's a little kid, but then she grows up and then she's old by the end.
I think so, yeah.
So the implication is 10 minutes after the show went off, she dies.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about I may have I may have blocked Jack Frost out.
And now you've been triggered.
Yeah.
All
right. But next week, I have homework. You have homework.
The movie. See, I thought it was. I wasn't sure. The Mouse special was called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hated him.
I
hated that mouse.
Here's how much I love that special. In the height of the pandemic, when everybody was home, I searched for that special and I watched it.
Is it hard to find?
No, well, I mean, I didn't know where.
Okay,
right.
But
I said, you know what, I want to watch it.
Because I do remember.
Because I watched that, and then I watched Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Ricky Tikki Tavi
with the mongoose.
Now you talking about dark and
I know.
Ricky Tikki Tavi was just a movie about some snakes trying to kill a little boy.
I know. I was like, ooh.
I am death. I am death. You remember they used to roll the projector out and show Ricky Tikki Tavi in school? Like, why would you show this to a kid?
It made him shut up. That's why.
Yeah, Ricky Tikki Tavi was wild.
That was wild.
Ricky Tikki Tavi.
I was like, ooh, that's not quite what I was remembering.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I watched that first. And then I said, I need to watch something else.
Yeah, right. Ricky Tikki Tavi, right? The snakes was trying to kill a little boy. And then Ricky Tikki Tavi was killing snakes.
Yeah, dude. There's a scene where he is straight up like Rottweiler.
Oh, yeah, he wrecks them. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. All right. The show should have ended half an hour ago. From a Christmas movie to a mongoose killed a snake. Next week we'll be in Christmas. All right.
So we'll be in Christmas.
Until
yes. I'm trying not to start talking about Santa Claus versus the Martians.
All right, we gotta end the show. We really even end the show. my God. So email us all of your thoughts and concerns, ladies and gentlemen. Email us at micheauxmission@gmail.com. Go to the Micheaux Mission website, 2 Man 1 Podcast, every black film ever made. Hit swag, check out all the cool designs and gifts that we have by way of our good friends at TeePublic. Like and follow us on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, at Micheaux Mission, which is a proud member of The Podglomerate, thepodglomerate.com. They make podcasts work. All right, next week on the and real quick, hey, I do another podcast. Check it out because it's fun. The Rule of Man, available at theruleofman.com. Everywhere good podcasts be. It's me and a bunch of guys answering questions sent in from women, which gives you a glimpse into our thoughts of manhood in the 21st century. It's a fun show. People are enjoying it. I hope you can check it out wherever you find podcasts. The Rule of Man. Next week on the Micheaux Mission, it is our second week of Christmas movies, and it is our last show for 2021 because after next week, we're going to take some time off. Mm-hmm. But we're going to have fun. We're going to give you a Christmas, Christmas playing list, a Christmas viewing list, and we're also going to review another, now from what I learned, because I've actually never seen the movie, Christmas tradition from 2007, this Christmas, next week on the Micheaux Mission. He's Vincent, I'm Len. In parting, we say,
we'll see you when it's time to meet again.